Okay, second thing is modern dating seems like everyone is dancing around reality. No one is straightforward. Men don't properly ask women on dates. It's just situationships and hanging out. Women don't clearly state their expectations and get surprised later that they're dating a scumbag. Yeah, you know?
It's like if you look for standards, you have to be the standard, and you can't look for what you want in the place where that person's not going to be. I just feel like it's kind of about logic more than anything else. And sometimes we come to our emotions too much when we talk about dating. Like we want this, we want that, but then we don't really look for that, and we aren't really the person that we want to see in the person we're with. So.
Sure. And I do think men are moving away from, doing those things. I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons for that. Some of the blame, I think, rests on men, but I do think some of the blame also rests on women. For example, I mean, you have women who will expose men for daring to approach them or flirt with them. And a lot of men are seeing, and in the social media age, this is a massive issue because people care deeply about their reputations, and especially in, for example, college or high school, if a guy were to perhaps awkwardly approach a woman, that's a bigger hit when fucking she can go to fucking Twitter or Instagram and, this creepy guy fucking hit on me or whatever. So I think the whole Me Too thing, granted, look, there's some very valid things going on there, but I think, there's guys, I don't know if you guys were familiar with like I'm trying to think of an example recently. Like women will just like leak DMs of guys innocently flirting with them. Mm-hmm. And like shame them for doing what women want men to do, which is take initiative. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're being sent the opposite message of what we actually want. Like if you want a man to be XYZ, you actually have to treat the men who are XYZ as if, they have something valid to offer. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I completely agree. I think it's both people, but you have to put out there what you hope to find.
I feel like if a man, like I saw this video of this girl who was in a gym and she was just doing a normal workout. This guy like turned for a second because she had this giant tripod set up, and she was like, "What the fuck are you looking at? Like you're a total creep." And I think that all of that
many
is
such cases.
I think it's a really big issue. And then with speaking about the Me Too movement, I have seen a lot of like things come forward about false sexual assault claims, which is sickening. It's terrible, and I think that
something that I wanted to also say is that I think one of the biggest overarching problems with dating and society now is the fact that if we don't respect ourselves, we can't respect our partners, and then ultimately, obviously, I'm very passionate about this, then we can't respect the children we create. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like we have to respect ourselves first, and then we can respect everyone else.
Definitely, we need a higher standard of people.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
Men are scared to take initiative now. Sad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's just women that's the problem. I think that men just aren't as masculine anymore, and they don't really pursue as much anymore. I mean, their testosterone levels are literally
so
lower, and they're all addicted to porn, and so. Why would they pursue a woman in real life?
I don't think it's just a man or a woman problem. I think
definitely both.
It's definitely both. So
both
you said
coming to our vices.
Yeah. You said this whole body count topic and how I hear people say lower body count is preferred for women, and it's simultaneously respectable to have a high body count for men. First of all, the fact that the phrase body count exists at all, how dehumanizing. It literally makes human beings just a number.
Yes. Yeah, because you can't engage in that activity without also giving something of your soul and your emotions. And we talked about it earlier, the chemical bonding. So to say just like body count and like we're just like stacking names in like a list or just numbers, even not even names, then you're no longer like connecting to that person anymore, which is kind of the point, right? Like you're trying to just gain experience. And that's what I meant by men, it's respected somehow. Like having more experience, that doesn't make any sense to me, because why would you want your man to have experience in that realm if it means it's with other people? Because then he's just connected with other people, and he's comparing you to all those past experiences. So instead of learning together about something that you both don't know much about and learning it together for the rest of your life, he's like thinking, oh well, Susan back in the day.
Yeah, but you're a major outlier. Like most people, both men and women, are either secular or atheist or agnostic or nominally Christian. So I mean,
and I don't think religion has to do with it. Honestly, I really don't. I don't.
Not necessarily.
Even if I wasn't religious, this isn't really the reason why I think this. To be fair, like
sure,
my religion supports what I think, but in reality, I think this is a completely secular concept as well. Like the statistics show that it's unhealthy to be with multiple people.
But I would argue that among atheists or agnostics or secular people, it's probably it's probably much more rare to find people who believe in purity, sexual purity, for
value,
example.
Like
so
sex, it's rare. That doesn't mean it's not attainable or that we shouldn't talk about it. But
your objection to the phrase body count. Let me ask you a question. So if I were to ask you how many previous sexual partners you've had, and you tell me 10, right? I mean, didn't you just do that which you object to, which is putting a number to something? I mean, the body count question is just another sterile way. Don't switch to that. Wait, let me put it over here. All right. It's just a sort of sterile way of asking how many sexual partners you've had.
No, I understand the purpose why we have to reduce things down to like 1 or 2 words.
It's to shorten the 4 words versus 7.
Like, how many people? Yeah, I know, but it's just like the idea that the choice words are body count. I'm just pointing out that like it's sad. It's sad to me that to think like if you do have a lot of people that you've had encounters with, that ultimately at the end of the day, especially if it's higher, then you're really just you have to think of it as a body count versus like John and Sue or whatever. Like they're no longer people. They're just numbers.